not a writer.
Okay.
If I find my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, but you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, but you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, but you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, but you still amaze me. If I find my way home, yeah. If I find my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, but you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, but you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, but you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, but you still amaze me. If I find my way home, yeah.
This is the move. For those who
What we do here is go back.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
I
Welcome to the Child of Mecha live stream. I am the one and only Tim, the Child of Mecha. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. It's the middle of the week. We made it. For those of us in the U.S., we got a 3-day weekend coming up. That's cool, right? End of summer. So it has its pluses, it has its minuses, right? Right? So, welcome guys, welcome back. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to start on something a little bit new on the Jesta, but we're going to get to that here in a minute. We're going to work on the head a little bit tonight, start to detail that up a bit. And I'm going to show you a really cool scribing technique that I have not necessarily showed you just yet along these streams. So that'll be very, very interesting. Super handy, not necessarily something that you would use all the time, but when you need it, it'll definitely be something to add to your toolbox of skills when it comes to scribing. So that'll be really, really cool. But first, before we get into that, we're going to cover a book. But before we get into that, let's cover a couple points of business, shall we? First and foremost, booyah! Win this model in the Gauntlet Talk fundraiser / giveaway. Man, it's for an awesome cause. It's for the National Alopecia Areata Foundation. One lucky donor will win that very model. Man, we've got some really awesome people to donate, some cash. Some awesome comments and stuff over there. The comments have really been very, very positive along this thing, and man, it's just we got a good thing going on. So if you haven't donated yet, please do so. If you're not in a position to donate yet, we understand. We totally get that. Times are tough for everybody. I understand. But if you could, give us a share. Give the campaign a share, maybe on your Facebook or Instagram account, maybe to your favorite Facebook group. Maybe make a video about it if you're willing to do that as well. That would be amazing. But whatever you can do to help us out, get some more attention to the fundraiser, man, that would be just amazing. And you'd be doing something good for humanity. So make you feel good, right? So do that tonight. Man, I'm wearing the classic, the blackout Mecha shirt. Man, I love this. This is one of my favorite shirts. I love this design, right? This is available in hats, as we've seen before previously. All of that is available on childofmecha.com. Hit up the store for your Gundam t-shirts, hats, and maybe some bags and stuff like that too. So hit that up. The tools that you'll be seeing me use this evening can be found in that little link below in the description on Facebook and on YouTube, a little bit later on Twitch. Hit that Amazon link. Get the tools that you need to do the job. Hit up the other section there to get some inspiration on some books. We've got one to cover tonight, and it's a big one, y'all. This is a big book, not size-wise, but content-wise. This thing is like big. So I'll show you that here in a moment. But can't think of anything else, right? Let's see who's in the chat, shall we? Because we got some folks in the chat. Let's start off over on the Facebooks. Let's do that. Carlo Castro's over there. Austin Ray is giving us a big old thumbs up. Thank you for watching, guys. Looks like Johanny Strider Prime is watching us over there on Facebook. What's up, Johanny? Let's check out the Twitch and good old YouTube, because you guys are going in there. I see Gamer Bud, Blue Flash. Let's see, Jay Lynch is with us. Carlo Castro is over here on YouTube as well. Kenneth Sim, Lenny. Bailey's with us as usual. M. Samoza. Thank you, sir, for watching. Yeah, Andrew. M. Samoza says, the Grandmaster has arrived. LOL. Oh, shit. No, Andrew. LOL. Yeah, Andrew, Andrew's at college, so he may not necessarily be joining us. So, but good call there, M. Samoza. Soravan is over there on Twitch holding down the fort. Thank you as always, Soravan. Man, you're right here. We're boys. Ty Temple is also with us, currently working on Kshatriya. Awesome. Bailey, yes, dude, you are a fixture. That is for sure, man. We got to talk about some things. Maybe we can hook some things up. Oh, Mikkel. Damn it. All right, so Mikkel's using a fake. I see how it is, Mikkel. All right, I see how it is. Using another account to trick me up here, because I don't remember names too damn well, right? So James Gaudia is over there, also giving us a big hello on Facebook. That's awesome. So Mikkel, you're killing me, buddy, but that's awesome. Thank you for watching, brother. Appreciate that. Let's see. Soravan, real quick, says, you can't stop me from reading the sign. I'll do what I want. I'm glad somebody noticed, right? Kira Yet, also, he says, what is stop reading my sign? Just a joke. Just having fun with it, right? So no lie. Like, where this came from, I used to have a t-shirt, right? Funny story. Used to have a t-shirt, just this kind of athletic gray ringer with, black rings around the collar and on the arms and everything. And it just had, in simple plain letters, stop reading my shirt, right? So when I would go out, people would look at my shirt and just be like, oh, and then look away real quick, right? It was the funniest thing ever. I still wish I had that shirt because that would be amazing. So it's kind of where the stop reading my sign came into play. Just a joke, just having fun. Hey, Kira, thank you for watching as well, man. Appreciate that. But let's get into this book because, like I said, this is a big book, so it might take us a few minutes to get through this here. So let's switch over to camera 2. Zoop. All right, so here we go. The Art of Overwatch. Now, let me preface this by saying I don't play Overwatch. I've never played Overwatch. I don't know anything about Overwatch other than the concept art in this book is pretty damn cool. I don't know the characters' names. I don't know anything about the game other than what's basically in this book. So if I make a mistake on names or something like that, don't kill me because, like I said, I'm just about the artwork and the inspiration coming from this. And this definitely has some really great inspiration in it. So let's go through this here just real quick. But like I said, that is a brick, you guys. This book is roughly 1.5 inches thick. And let's get a page count for you guys real quick for you playing at home. Yes, so this is about 360, almost 370 pages. Yeah, almost 370 pages. This is a big book. So let's and it's also size-wise kind of big too. Not as big as say the Elysium book or some of the other books that we have taken a look at through our time together, but this is still very sizable, right? So let's start going through. You've got kind of a nice group shot here, and I do like the comic styled art in this. It's kind of a mix between your traditional comic art style and almost a manga anime feel. Let's get that a little bit better in frame so you guys can see that. I do really like it. It's very, very cool. So you've got actually some evolving kind of group shots. This, I guess, was a very early group shot, and then it kind of evolved a little bit more. The logo that they kind of went with evolved over time, and that's normal for kind of a graphic design conceptualization process. And so we're going to go through this here. And one thing that I really like about game books is that the artists just really don't have any sort of they don't have any sort of reins. You know, they basically have free range to let loose and really let their imaginations run wild. And that's kind of what I really dig, right? So for this book, you'll see some great color combinations. You'll see great graphic design. You'll see concepts in terms of armor and weaponry and mechanics and things like that that you can definitely use in your next project. Kenneth Sim, yeah, the color combinations, especially on this color, Anna, I guess. Maybe she wants to build a snowman. I don't know. But the color on this is really great. The kind of the muted blue with the dark grays and, you know, light gray accents and everything. Really, really a cool. Oh, look, Andrew's with us. Yay. Kidding, Andrew. Thank you for joining us, buddy. Yeah, you know, this is really a great color combination. You know, you've got this robot-looking guy here, Bastian, I guess is his name. And you've got early concepts over on this side. You've kind of got one here where he doesn't even have like a head. But these are great mechanical details in this particular character. You know, you've got the pistons, and you've got the gears, and you've got the round molds, and the different armor sets and things like that, and how they intertwine with one another. The reinforcement on some of the shields up here and in the chest pieces, these little triangles between the planes and stuff like that. Those are great mechanical details that you can stuff into your next project, right? So these are great. This whole character, through the conceptualization, is very, very useful in that type of arena. So come on now. There we go. And then you've got some different iterations of this particular character, and some different versions and things like that across kind of both of these pages here. So really, really kind of cool. Really kind of cool stuff. And then you've got, I've seen this particular mech, Diva, and I kind of know that one, if you will. So this one is really cool because, you know, just the shapes and everything, mechanical design again, all the armor panels and the details and things. Even it has some kind of panel lines and things like that on different parts and stuff that you can kind of take a look at. So very cool stuff there. Some different logos down here, obviously some good graphic design elements and things. But let's start to whip through this thing, because if we try to go page by page, we're going to be here all night and then some. So let's really kind of start to rip through this thing. The Diva, you know, section is definitely very useful because you do have different iterations, different weaponry concepts and things like that. And then you kind of get into, you know, your other kind of, I guess, melee characters and stuff like that. This is what, Genji, so cyber ninja dude. Interesting stuff going on in his armor, obviously, and different concepts of him on this particular page. So, you know, that is actually really cool. You can definitely get some different color combinations, maybe some armor ideas, separation, things of that nature. So that's really, really cool there. Let's see, kind of getting through some of these characters that don't necessarily have a ton of inspirational value, but there's not many that don't have a lot of inspiration, like this particular character here, Mercy, with the really cool wings, and looks like one version is female and the other is male. You know, this male version here is pretty cool. Different color combinations. I like her color combination over here with the kind of white and dark grays, but then kind of the warm, fiery colors. Those are really neat. Let's see. Let's start to get through here. What's this guy? Orisa? I don't know how to say that. Again, I don't play this guy, so I don't know. But again, great mechanical inspirations on some of these mechanical characters and stuff. So really cool there. Farah, this is pretty neat if you wanted to, you know, kind of design some more, I guess, kind of winged characters or Gunpla and stuff. You know, your Zetas, your Rezels, you know, Delta, Delta Plus, all that good stuff. Different iterations of that, different configurations of where the boosters are and things. Very cool stuff there. Again, same types of things on this page. This one is very kind of Zone of the Enders kind of flavor with the pointy feet and stuff like that. So very cool stuff there. And so here are some pretty cool weapon designs here. Here's Soldier 76, right? And so pretty cool weapon designs. And he's got several of them throughout. And a lot of the different characters have some cool weapon designs and things of that nature that you can kind of glean inspiration off of. This one here, this is actually really cool. I really dig this particular concept. I know it looks like kind of like a nail gun or something like that, but still, I think that could be reincorporated and make it look very, very cool. So, you know, different shots. You know, also, another good thing that I just kind of realized is this has some really interesting posing, you know, different action shots, different, you know, poses that, you know, you can make your next project a little bit more dynamic. Me, myself, I just kind of like the standing there look. But not everybody's like that. Maybe, you know, you want to have somebody, you know, your Gundam running or leaping or, you know, something like that along those lines. You know, it's everybody's, you know, kind of different flavor. So let's try to get through this here because there's a ton in this book, as you can see. Different environments, mechanical designs, things of that nature. Really interesting there. Tanks for, I guess, whatever, water tanks or gas or what have you. These are some great kind of arcade design type things. Great environments and stuff too. And as you can see, I mean, this book just goes on and on and on. There's a ton of great artwork and stuff like that in this book. These are very interesting mech designs here, right? And then you have your, I guess, secondary and special skins for the characters and stuff. Very cool, kind of interesting alternatives to different characters. I like this Diva one. I don't know if it comes through, but there's a very subtle kind of honeycomb pattern on the armor, and that would look really kind of cool. I've seen people do that on Gundams and stuff like that, so that's a very interesting sort of you know, kind of paint choice and paint aesthetic. And yeah, I mean, as you can see, there's just a ton. With almost 400 pages in this book, this book has tremendous value. Even if you don't play the game, even if you don't like the game, like me, I just don't. I've never played it. I have no inclination of playing it, but the artwork is great. Then, even still, this book has tremendous value. But if you like the game, then it's even better. And like through these pages that we're going through here now, just great examples of different graphic design and things like that. I mean, here's like playing card designs for the different characters and things, which is kind of really, kind of unique and interesting, right? Different icons and stuff like that. Just great. And it even goes into like the animated shorts that kind of came out as a precursor to the game, which was pretty interesting. I saw those, and those seemed really cool when I first saw them. I mean, it didn't make me want to play the game, but they looked really interesting. And I appreciated the designs and everything. And, that's really kind of where this book comes into play, is just the inspiration that you can get for your next project. Some great environments and things like that. Just, again, this book is massive. So there it is. Lug it into place. Art of Overwatch. Things like 20 pounds, people. It's crazy, right? So go pick it up. It's on Amazon. I have it in the link in the description. So that should be pretty cool, right? So, Art of Overwatch. Rock and roll. All right, so let's bring you up to speed with where the Jesta is, shall we? So, what I did was let's pull the head off here because we're going to be focusing on that mostly this evening, and let's take a look at it real quick, shall we? So, let's see. Focus, focus, focus. Whoop. There we go. So, as you can see here, the holes right here, the two holes on the kind of, I guess, front visor here, look a little hazy, right? So what I did was I filled those in with super glue, just, the Loctite that I use. That right there, Ultra Liquid Control. So I filled that up, sanded them down smooth, so now there is no indent or anything like that in this visor. So this is basically ready to go, ready to prime. We're going to add a little bit of detail to that this evening. Also, too, I gave him a little bit of chin right there, a little bit of come on now. There we go. So a little bit of a kind of a Gundam chin, just a little bit, just a hint of one, nothing crazy. This is just a 1mm by 1mm strip, and I just glued it into place, and then kind of cut it down and shaped it into what you guys see there. So pretty nifty, right? And then let's remove this piece here, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see that with a ton of detail or not, but the way that this excuse me, the way that this piece here goes together, it's this side here, and then it glues into this side. And what's weird was this square kind of camera type of shape was split into two, which for me doesn't make much sense, because what happened was when you glue them together, it just doesn't look great, right? So glued this, eliminated the seam lines, the whole 9 yards, and then shaved that off, and I replaced it with a wave square nozzle. Just a little one, itty bitty one. This is a little bit bigger than what was there, just a hair, right? But you'd never notice it in never really notice it unless you took a really, really good hard look at it. And then, even then, you may not notice it. So, I think it's definitely improved. It's more now a cohesive shape, and it looks really quite good. So, what I also did here is to start scribing on the back of the head here, and you can kind of see where it picks up the light, the highlights and stuff like that. And then I just kind of notched this little gap right here in the back of the head. Just cut that with my hobby knife, trimmed it down, shaped it the whole 9 yards. Pretty easy stuff. And so this is what we're going to be working on here this evening. All right? But before we do that, let's get caught up in the chat. All right? So let's see. Who is over there on Facebook before I cut myself with my hobby knife? Let's see. Raymond Lou. Ayo Hondo. He says, "Sup, Tim?" What's up, Ray? Good to see you. Guys, check out Ray. He is an amazing modeler. Probably one of the more underrated modelers in the U.S., in my opinion. And you need to check him out. So, what is it, Ray? Robo Ray Charles? I think so. Robo Ray Charles on Facebook and on Instagram. Really, really talented. Very, very talented. He's awesome. Love his work. Follow him. It's worth it. So, good dude. Also, let's see. Alex Delceni is with us. Alex, welcome, sir. He says all the cool kids are here on Facebook. I don't know, man. I think you might be outnumbered by the cool kids over there on YouTube, though. You know, and there's also a couple cool kids over there on the good old Twitch too. So they're all spread out. So cool deal. Let's see. Oh, cool. Yeah, Robo Ray Charles, everybody. Go check him out on Facebook and Instagram. And he says also unmotivated. Aw, tear. Sorry to hear that, Ray. Sorry to hear that, buddy. You'll get there. I have faith in you, young Padawan. All right, so let's see. Wow, you guys are going crazy, and it's mostly Andrew in the YouTube chat. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Jeez. Let's see. Shout here. Where do we even start with this? Come on. Let's see. GamerBud says currently waiting on Loot Crate. Winston Primal Rage shirt. Very cool. GamerBud looks at Tim and fist bump. Okay, rock and roll. Mikkel says, that's some Bible you got there, Tim. Yeah, dude, it's a big book. Big book. Bailey says, we are in a renaissance of cool design, though, with all these games and media made by unabashed fans for fans. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. There is definitely a much bigger movement kind of for homegrown style content and stuff like that, right? So, very cool stuff there. Let's see. Ray says, thanks, Tim. Man, you're welcome, dude. And I mean that. You really are kind of one of the more underrated modelers here in the U.S. You should get much more credit than what kind of you have. So, respect. Let's see. Kenneth Sims, color palettes on Overwatch are awesome. They are, dude. They are. I agree with you, Kenneth. Mikkel is telling Andrew, says, go to bed, little Andrew. I agree. Don't you have school tomorrow? Don't you have a curfew or something, youngin? Let's see. Let's see. Just back and forth between Andrew and Mikkel. Ay. Jesus. Mikkel says, yeah, Tim, those Mecha colors are nice. Yeah, they were pretty nice. I love some of the color combinations and everything over there in the Overwatch books. Really, really cool. Let's see. Bailey says, kind of looks like the handgun from the old Ori gun. Yeah. So the Ori, I don't even know how you pronounce it. Ori gun or Ori. ORE gun. I don't even know if you say it as one word or if you say the individual letters, but the ORE or gun was a design first developed by Studio Reckless in Japan. They are kind of a high level kind of resin limited edition kit kind of boutique model maker, all resin, very highly detailed, very mechanical style models that they produce, and they design these ORE or Ori gun concepts, and man, they were just amazing. So that book, or that gun that looked like a nail gun, kind of did look like that. So that's a very good point. Let's see. Barakasazo is with us. He says, "Hi, Mr. B Plamo Builder from Panama. Dude, I commented on your Instagram post today, man. Hardcore. You guys are hardcore, man. Hey, Mr. B Plamo Builder is from Panama, you guys, and I'm going to tell you what. Him and his wife look like they build together, right? And they were watching Gunpla Talk, and man, wife gave him brought him wine and brought him like fancy snacks, like kind of like salamis and crackers and cheese. Man, super fancy, right? Makes me jealous, and that was awesome. So you know, much respect there. To you, Mr. B Plamo Builder. You guys are awesome down there. Thank you for your support. Appreciate that. Thank you for watching too. That's awesome, dude. Let's see. Bailey says a soul patch. Yeah, for the Jesta. Yeah, kind of looks like a soul patch. You know, a little something, you know. Let's see. Gamerbud says he be in the hangar jamming to the Cranberry zombie. Yeah, hey, that's a good song. I dig it. Soldier BL, Johnny's with us. Thank you for watching again. Johnny, appreciate that. Thanks for coming back. That's awesome. Let's see. Bailey says looking crisp with the notches though. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. That's awesome. Let's see. Sorvon says, hobby, not discipline. Yeah, I know, right? So it just kind of rolled over and almost, that would have been very bad. Let's see. Ray, I hate to tell you, but Mikkel's giving you shit over here on YouTube. He says, Ray sucks, man. You guys are killing me. Let's see. Kenneth Sim currently making micro sanding sticks on toothpicks for micro sanding. Nice. Respect, man. That's awesome. Let's see. Barack Asaza says, I'm already. I guess I embarrassed him. Sorry, man. But yeah, you guys are awesome down there. He says, I always try to watch your show on live. Really fires me up. That's awesome, dude. That's great to hear. I love that. So, very cool. All right, so now we're catched up in the chat. Let's get to work. Let's show you what I mean here with the scribing bit, right? Let's see. Soldier BL. Johnny says, it's 5:32 a.m. I won't see all the live video, but I'll see the reruns. Damn, dude. Yeah, you know, since we had to kind of change the time for Gunpla Talk, it definitely kind of put a bit of a challenge on, you know, certain time zones. But we kind of had to do it simply because of some of the other guys' personal commitments and things, families, stuff like that. I guess, you know, you guys understand that. So, you know, it is what it is. It worked out for some folks. It didn't for others. Not much we can do, right? Let's see. Karmic is with us. Welcome. Jay the 23rd, thank you for the follow there on Twitch. Appreciate that. Welcome to the family. Thank you for watching. That's amazing. Awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. You know that's right. He says, suck it, Kel. Damn. Harsh. Let's see. Karmic says, what advice could you give for finishing verniers? You know, it depends on what you're looking for, quite frankly. Because if you're looking for kind of a fresh off the factory room floor, that's one way of finishing it. And then if you are looking for more of a worn in looking vernier, that's definitely another way of looking at it. Also, do you want it metallic? Maybe you want it painted, or maybe in like an unpainted look or something like that. Me personally, I kind of like the somewhat off the factory room floor look, but that's just kind of me. Oh, look at that, I missed another follow. Radical Hair, thank you for the follow, I appreciate that. Welcome to the family as well, thank you for watching. But uh-oh, we're in trouble now. Chris, Mr. Squee, is with us. Oh hell, I didn't think we'd see this day, people. I did not think we'd see this day. Chris, what's up, buddy? Thank you for watching, even if it is just to give Mikkel and Ray some shit, and along with Andrew. So, still though, no one is surprised by Andrew. Jesus. And now the endless cycle continues. But going back to what Karmic says, he says, I always seem to have trouble cleaning those as well when they are smaller. Okay, so I guess nub marks or something like that. Yeah, it's kind of hard because, you know, since obviously they're round and conical shaped, they do, you know, they do pose a bit of a challenge, I guess. So, you know, what I would say is trim the nub as close as you can with the with your nippers, with your hobby knife, and then get in there with, you know, just sandpaper or sanding sponge and just kind of carefully go around, and just take your time while you're doing it. Don't try to rush it. Don't try to sand too much down, because it's easier to take off than put back on, obviously, right? So what you want to do is you want to gradually sand that down, just kind of nibble it, just kind of creep up on it, right? So that's kind of what I would do, right? Flute of the Blue Dragon. Lenny, thank you for the follow there on Twitch. Appreciate that. That's awesome. Man, she's following like everywhere. That's really cool. Thank you for that. Let's see. Bailey says, yeah, I prefer watching live too, getting some scribing in too. Nice. The half site, I'm currently testing out using cheap Walmart pastels for rust effects, and it's crazy how good it can look if done right. Yeah, even just cheap pastels, you can get a really cool look. What I really like, though, and I don't know where they went to it. Maybe it's behind my sign. Yep, there it is. What I really like are these guys right here. The Tamiya Weathering Masters set. I've got a bunch of them, I think all the way to E or F, maybe. And these are really nice because they're not necessarily dry, but they're not wet either. They're kind of like almost like a makeup kind of consistency, right? You know, so if you have a, you know, wife or girlfriend or something like that, you know, you've seen that. That's kind of what this is like. There is a little moisture, so it helps it stick to the plastic a lot better. And these are not necessarily all that expensive. You can get the whole set on Amazon for I think like $40. Well worth the money, right? And they come with this really cool little applicator brush. It's got kind of a rough, you know, bristle brush here on one side, and then it's kind of got this spongy applicator here on this other side. Really quite nice. This particular set is very useful for like heat staining because it comes with a burnt red, this burnt blue, and then an oil stain color. And I'm going to tell you what, guys, this color right here, oil stain, is amazing to just kind of slop all over the armor on your models. That's what I did with the Ozymandias. This oil stain went all over the entire surface, inner frame, outer armor, everything of the Aussie. And man, the subtleties in variation that you can get on the surface and in the paint and everything is just really, really amazing and very hard to replicate any other way. So, yeah, definitely work with kind of testing with the normal pastels. But man, I highly recommend those Tamiya weathering powders. They are amazing. Really, really good stuff. Let's see. Andrew says waking up at 9 a.m. for Gunpla Talk is too tiring. Yeah, try being on it, you little jerk. Kamal Zeta. Oh, look at that, Bailey. Look at you. Nice. Thank you for the subscribe, buddy. Appreciate that. That's awesome. Let's see. Trying to get through the banter of Mikkel and Andrew and Chris and all those guys. Ay, ay, ay. You know that's right. That's Ray. Yep. Okay. Nice. Karmic says, "What about cleaning off of the runner? They seem to gate them right on the outside edge, which is a pain. Yeah, it is a massive pain. But again, if you just kind of start to sand them down real lightly." Chris, thank you for the follow on Twitch, dude. Appreciate that. Squeeze Workbench, guys. Oh, look at that. The Real Gundam Nerd. The Real Gundam Nerd, Brax, is with us over there on Twitch. Thank you for watching, brother. Appreciate that. I'm still trying to get caught up in the chat here, too, so I don't know if you had commented or if you guys have commented, but I'm still kind of working through, so we'll get to you. But that's awesome. But yes, hey, follow Squeeze Workbench on Facebook and on Instagram. Man, Chris is a really, really good modeler, very talented. There he goes, subscribing on YouTube as well. And go follow Brax, my boy Gundam Nerd, over on Instagram. He's going to surprise you guys, I think, a little bit with what he's working on right now. So go follow him. Great dude. Very entertaining live streams over there on Instagram. So worth the follow. Worth the follow. So go check him out. Let's see. Let's kind of power through the chat here because you guys are going crazy right now. Let's see. Squeeze if I can. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Let's see. GamerBud says, "Oh snap! I have a bunch of oil pastels from some artwork I did years ago. I should go find those and use them." Yeah, you may want to test oil pastels though, because those are the more kind of crayon-looking ones, and I'm not sure if those are going to work the way that we hope they would. Let's put it that way. The more chalk pastels is kind of, you know, more they're dusty and things like that. You can kind of scrape them with a hobby knife and kind of get that powder going and really you know, use those to some great effect. So, but give them a shot. You never know, right? It's worth a shot. Yeah. Man, Mikkel, haven't I mentioned Maverick's warehouse and Maverick 176? Haven't I mentioned that? If I haven't, I'm sorry, but I'll mention it now. Okay, so, guys, Mikkel is also a very talented modeler and a good friend. Go follow him, Maverick's Warehouse on Facebook and Maverick 176 on Instagram. Maverick with a K. With a K. Go follow that out. That's a good thing too. So, sorry, dude. Andrew, you're nobody's top fan, and I think Kevin was giving you that out of like a pity type of thing. Oh, Chris says, "I'm offended that I got lumped in with Andrew." Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. Oh, man. you know what, though, Chris? You may be, and the guys, Squee over here on YouTube, he says, don't follow me, I'm a dick. It's what makes you lovable, dude. It's what makes you lovable. All right. All right, so let's get, Jesus, you guys are crazy right now in the chat. All right, so what we need to do, what I'm going to do, right? So let's get up, where's my pencil? I pushed everything off to the side and I lost everything. Never fun. Here it is. All right, so what we're gonna do, I want to do kind of a tapered box scribe on this thing. So what I want to do is just kind of bring a scribe line down on kind of both sides here. But obviously this is tapered, so that's a little problematic most of the time, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little dymo work here, right? All right, let's see. First, we got to get things out of the way, and then we got to pull in our good old friend, the chopper, right? The chopper. So let's get you zoomed out a little bit so you can see what I'm going to do here. Because this is an interesting little technique that I've picked up. And let's see, let's guesstimate here how much tape we're going to need. Just about, what, 12, 13 millimeters. So let's go with that, right? All right. So we'll get this out of the way. And let's see, lock and load. About 13 millimeters right there. All right. Lock our stop block in, raise that up, square off the edge of this dymo. So we got a nice clean square edge, and then we're going to draw all this out over to the stop block, chop that, and now what we're going to do this all in one piece of dymo tape, and I'm going to show you how here in just a second. So we've got our length that we're going to need on the top here, but now we need to figure out what the width is going to be, right? So let's take a look at this here. Our width is going to be, we're going to call that 5 millimeters. So what we need to do is trim this down to exactly 5 millimeter width here. Okay, lock that stop block into place. And now we're going to grab the width. So there's exactly how wide we're going to need this tape. And let's just measure just to make sure. Perfect. Okay, so now here's where the magic happens, right? So what we need to do to taper this down, we need to bring in two sides down into kind of a triangle. So what we're going to do is we're going to trim a little triangle out of the middle here. Just like that. All right. Make sense so far? Okay. So what we've got to do next is peel this tape off here. And let's get the eyes on real quick beforehand so I can see what exactly the hell I'm doing here at close distances. Let's get this stuff out of the way. peel this tape off here. So now we've got our widest point, and then we've kind of got two little forks going here, right? So what we want to do is we want to lay down our widest point, the back end of this tape. We want to lay that down first. And we want to try our best to center this right here. And now what we want to do is we do not want to press down these two kind of forks just yet. What we want to do is we want to try and hold on to the back edge as best as we can, and then angle those in to where we want that panel line to be. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other side. Now this might take a little bit of coercion and stuff like that, but once you've got it tapered down and in the shape that you want it to be, man, this is a very, very useful technique. All right, I think we're getting there. Basically, what we're just trying to do is get to where this panel line is running right on the corner, even though it's rounded over, basically the corner of this piece, right? We want to try to press that tape down as best as we can. We want as much surface adhesion as possible. All right, I think we're looking pretty good. This side needs to come in just a little bit. Okay. All right, so let's give it one other look-see here. That looks pretty good. I think we might be ready to scribe this in. All right, so what we're going to do next is to grab our good old friend 0.15, right? Let's go to work. Let's get these lines scribed here, and then I'll show you the final result here momentarily. So what we're going to do, since this is a curved surface, you want to hold on, obviously, to these front two little forks, because they're going to have a tendency to pop up simply because there's not a lot of surface adhesion. There's just not a lot of surface area for it to kind of grip onto, unfortunately. And it just is what it is, just the size of it that's killing it right now. And it moved, it migrated on me here. So, kind of re-finagle this thing. I think we got it back to the position that we needed to be in here. Okay. So, all right, let's get scribing here. Okay. You want to take your time with this one because this is a little tricky, especially with the forks of this particular piece wanting to migrate and just kind of move on you. But so far, so good. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but it is skipping like a champ right now. But unlike normal scribes right now, I'm not overly worried about that. I'm just trying to get the groove in so I can basically follow that to make this panel line a little bit deeper here in the next few minutes. We'll go in the other direction and start to smooth it out. All right, so moment of truth. Let's see what this looks like. We're going to have to connect the bottom here momentarily, but let's do a little bit of rough sanding on this and just really kind of see what we've got here. Because some of that residue from the tape got left on the piece. So it does make it a little bit difficult to see the scribe. So we're just going to do a little bit of rough sanding here just to take that off. And all right, so there is our tapered scribe. Let's get super zoom going on this thing so you can really see what this looks like, because it looks quite nice, if I do say so myself. Get our box going, and 5X. There she is. All right, so get it to the angle that matches the camera, because my camera is a little bit not, it's kind of angled at a different, it's not straight down. So there is our angled tapered scribe, just with one piece of Dymo. So that came out super nice. Actually, it's a lot more even than I thought it would come out, to be honest with you. So, looks pretty good, yeah? I dig it. We'll continue that here in a moment, but first, let's get caught up with the chat, because looks like we've got some new folks that have come in and joined us here. So let's get caught up, shall we? Hey, there he is. There's Brax. The real Gundam nerd. Thanks, Tim. Learning from the OGs, I gotta represent and then tell the world where some of my inspiration came from. Appreciate that, brother. That's awesome. That's awesome. Shock the world, dude. Shock the world. That's what I say. Let's see. Mikkel's going to bed. So good night, sir. Talk to you later. Looks like Chris went to bed as well. Hey, look at that. Craig Flynn's with us. Flynn Burger. What's going on, Craig? Thanks for watching, buddy. Let's see. Oh, good. Is Andrew leaving too? God, I hope so. Got a class at 8 a.m. Let's see. Looks like he is. All right, so good, Andrew. Good night, sir. Have fun at school, nerd. Let's see. 7G something else on YouTube. Andrew said rude. 7G6 something else said, what are the most commonly used widths of BMC chisels that you use on 1/100 and 1/44 scale? Good question. For 1/100, I would use 0.15 for your panel lines, 0.3, 0.5, and 0.7 maybe. Sometimes a 1 millimeter for notches and things. Everything else higher than that, you're probably gonna stick with like sculpting. You know, that'll be for sculpting purposes and stuff. For 144s, the only thing that I would change out is the panel liner. Instead of 0.15, I would do like a 0.10. Awesome, Norland76. Thank you for those 100s. Appreciate that. That's awesome of you. Very cool. So yeah, so the only difference between the chisels is swapping out the panel line sizes. 0.10 for 144s is kind of more in scale date because it's a little bit thinner, so you scale it down a little bit. But the notches, you know, you're gonna keep the same chisel sizes for notches. Yeah, that's what I would say. So good question. Good question. Let's see what else here. Johnny Soldier BL says, "Poor Andrew. I feel sorry for the poor future chemist." Oh, I love that we give him a hard time. He's a good kid, you guys, and mind you, I give as good as I get from him. So he's actually pretty talented. So even though we give him a ton of shit, he's a very good kid. Hey, 7G6, you're very welcome. He says thanks. That's awesome. Let's see what else. Baraka Saza, I am not leave you, bro, to the end, or my wife call me to bed. That's awesome. Thank you, Barack. Appreciate that, buddy. Don't get in trouble with the wife, man. Happy wife, happy life, as they say. That's kind of a mantra that I love to live by. So, okay. Let's get back to this visor, shall we? What we need to do now is simply connect these two panel lines here, right? So that's just going to be, you know, just a straight scribe. Very, very simple to do. Let's see. I know I had some scrap Dymo tape around here somewhere. Here we go. Here's a piece. Always keep your scrap Dymo tape like that, simply because you never know when it's going to come in handy. So let's get out a super zoom, shall we? Karmic says, do you use any other chisel shapes other than square for your panel lining? Good question. Because there's more, obviously, than one shape, but obviously the most common shape is the square chisel. You know, some companies make kind of rounded, some make triangular shapes. For me, the most realistic look is the square, so I really don't use anything other than that. And for my own personal purposes, I really can't think of any other shape of chisel that I would need to use. So yeah, that's what I would do. Keep it square, right? Keep it square. So good question as well. Good question as well. Let's see, what else? Let's see. Soldier BL. Johnny says, well, he has to learn that life is not rainbows and sunshine. Very good point, Johnny. Very good point, brother. You know, that's right. Ray says, Tim, have you tried using those scribing tapes instead of Dymo? I have not. I've never had a problem with Dymo, to be honest with you. You know, for tricky things, you know, I'll make like a scribing jig or something like that. But no, I've never tried them, which doesn't, I don't mean to say that I don't want to try them. I just have never gotten around to it. I was looking around on Taobao earlier today and saw that some of the shops had the high Q stuff on there for pretty cheap. So you never know. I might break down and buy it. So I know Irad up at the Gundam Kitchen in beautiful Blackwood, New Jersey, has that for a pretty good price as well in his shop. So yeah, I know, right? It comes in what, 3mm and 6mm, something like that. So yeah, I've just never gotten around to trying it. So, and like I said, I have never had issues with Dymo. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Let's see what else. Cool. Timmy Wynn's with us. RuneBlade265. Check him out on Instagram, and also on Facebook. He's here over there on Twitch. Thank you for watching, Timmy. Appreciate that, brother. Barack Saza says, happy wife, happy life, and happy workshop and plamo time. I like it. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. And Ray says, ditch the Dymo after the adhesive started sticking to the plastic. It does that sometimes. Yeah. I don't see it as a huge deal. But it, it's all on what you want to do, right? So, let's see. Norland76 says there's that edge chisel. Yes. Okay. So, good point. So what we were talking about before is the different shapes of chisels. And I'll be honest with you, I personally, I probably wouldn't necessarily categorize that in the same way as like your BMC chisels, right? And I notice we're still in Super Zoom. Let's get the hell out of Super Zoom, shall we? Yeah, I never... It never kind of crossed my mind to categorize those in the same way. So, but no, those are very useful if you're trying to, get a consistent edge scribe. So, yeah, that's a fair point. Those are very useful. They are different shapes. Yeah, good call. Good call. Let's see. Bailey, Trumpeter and Hasegawa has those other shapes, and it seems Tamiya is doing them as well. Yeah, and like I said, I personally don't see myself having a use for them, but that's not to say that someone else might not have a use for them. Keep that in mind, Let's see. 8mm too. Okay. Interesting. Fair enough. Sorry, Ray. No, I just, I've never had an issue with Dymo, so that's just me. Personal preferences. Looks like Tomas Lol Scrub is with us. Welcome to the party, Tomas. Good to have you. Thank you for watching. Man, you know what? I'm going to tell you what, guys. Central America and South America are definitely representing here tonight, and I appreciate that. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I appreciate that, you guys. And those guys are hardcore, dude. Like, especially with like the shopping limitations that those guys have. Like the number of like online orders they can get in a year or whatever. I'm gonna tell you, man. That's I don't know how I would cope, really, because I'm a hardcore Amazon shopper. I get a lot of tools and supplies and things like that off Amazon, but we get a lot of other things like you may not necessarily think of for, to get on Amazon, right? We get things like just like everything, dude. Like school supplies for my daughter, kitty litter we get off Amazon, right? For our cats, sheets for our beds, stupid stuff, kitchen tools, and all just a whole gambit of things, right? So, man, we've become very, very, very kind of Amazon centric, I guess. So, yeah, it's just, I just could not kind of imagine having, a limitation on that of like 2 or 3 orders a year. That's just, that would blow me away, man. And especially my wife, because she gets ordering on Amazon like crazy too. So, but yeah, man, all respect to you guys in Central and South America. Seriously. Okay, let's get this bottom scribe here. We're going to need to be a little careful with this. because there's not a lot of surface area for this tape to grab onto right here. So we've got to be a little ginger with our scribe. Okay, flip this around, kind of go from the other direction here, and really kind of start to deepen that panel line. Okay, let's see. Cool, nice and flat. I dig it. Okay, so let's clear out some of the dust in these other panel lines here, so we don't have to worry about ramping. Let's see. And from the looks of it, this side of the panel, I did not scribe, I should say, as long as the other one. So we're going to have to extend that by nibbling a little bit on the front edge of this scribe at a time. And we just nibble a little bit, just a hair every single time, until we kind of extend that that line. Okay, and that looks much better. Let's get this a bit deeper here. Go a couple passes on this bottom line. And then we're going to start to fancy this guy up here a bit. We need to get the base outline done first, obviously, and then we can kind of start to get fancy with it. Okay. Man. A little warm down here in the studio, everybody. Little warm. Oh, boy. All right, so let's catch up, shall we? Let's see. Everybody's saying hi to Tomas. Tomas is so popular. Good dude, too. And again, if you don't follow Tomas, LOL Scrub on good old Instagram, go follow him. It's worth a follow. And GamerBud says, heck, I order snack foods off Amazon. Tempura seaweed snacks. I don't know about all that. Jay Lynch says, have you thought about doing LED tutorials? No. I have not. Main reason is because I don't know what I'm doing with LEDs, quite frankly. There are much better people than I that have done much better work with LEDs. Squeeze Workbench, actually. Chris Robledo, a very skilled in LEDs, mechanics, kind of that Arduino, Raspberry Pi whole kind of infrastructure thing. He's very talented in that. On Facebook, what is it? LED Gundam, I think, is the Facebook page. And someone correct me if I'm wrong. I'm probably getting it wrong. Gentleman from China or Hong Kong, and man, he makes some crazy stuff on there. Very talented in that arena, but I've never messed with LEDs before, so I would be the completely wrong person to try and do a tutorial on them. You know, if you want a tutorial on vacuum forming or resin casting, something like that, then I'm your man. But LEDs, no, I will bow down to others' experience in that arena. So, good question, Jay. Good question. Gamer Bud, I don't know if I could have an Amazon purchase yearly limit. Mad respect. Yeah, for real. Enrico Asanohoshi is on with us, everybody. Welcome, Enrico. He says, sup, everybody. Would love to stay, but I have a class early in the morning. It's 12:10 a.m. here. Have fun. Man, everybody's going back to school. Well, hey, good luck at school tomorrow, buddy. Let's see. Bailey says, I'm about to do a subscription for sustainable cups and plates, so I don't have to think about getting them anymore. First world problems. Yeah, right. Let's see. Bailey says, I teach tomorrow morning, but at 11, so I just don't care. Rock and roll. Kenneth Sims says, Tim, the workshop doesn't have air conditioning. It does, but with the amount of lights that I currently have going, it gets a little warm down here. And plus, having the headband on, it's just microwaves my freaking head, you know? So I take that off and then I'm pretty good, but it does kind of make your forehead a little warm after a while. So it's actually nice and cool in the house. So thanks for the concern, Kenneth. Johnny Soldier BL over there on Twitch says, when you have a chance, can you share your streaming setup, cameras, mic, software, and such for to help someone whom wants to start streaming? Absolutely, dude. That, I never really kind of thought of that, but yeah, I'll gladly kind of show you guys what I use, and I'll definitely hook you up. So yeah, that's not a problem whatsoever. Timmy Wynn over there, RuneBlade265 on Twitch says, Seth Tuna does amazing LED work. He doesn't do any tutorials, but his work is worth checking out. Yes, Seth from where's Seth from? Vietnam? I'm probably wrong. But yes, Seth Tuna does really quite amazing LED work, and he does quite amazing paint work. Cool, thank you, Timmy. Yes, he is from Vietnam. Seth does some sick paint jobs. He came in second in Vietnam's inaugural GBWC last year, and there was a little controversy around that, I think. But the Gundam, what was it, a double X or was it just an X? I forget. I think it was a double X. I don't know. Anyway, the model that came in first was wonderfully built. Seth Tuna's, man, was really great looking, but I think the judges got it right. Unfortunately, it was close though. It was super, super close, super close. So I would not want to have been a judge in Vietnam last year. No, sir. No, sir. Hard pass. Kenneth Sims says maybe duplicate parts tutorial. Yeah. Resin casting. Yeah, I'm your man. 20 grand. I'm your man. So these right here, these guys. If you guys don't recognize these, and you probably wouldn't, I actually scratch built the master part of this, and these are the back thrusters on the Hummingbird. So casted duplicates, still have the mold, the whole 9 yards. Nice and crisp detail, and yeah, definitely in the very hopefully in the near future, tutorials on resin casting, all that pretty advanced stuff will be coming your way, hopefully. So just be patient, and that'll roll out. So let's see, Jay Lynch. Yeah, I follow him on Facebook and Instagram. He is a god. Maybe. I don't know. That might be a bit stretch, but he is very talented. Very, very good. Silver Maverick, Ricardo is with us. Steezy on YouTube made some LED videos a while back. That's right. I keep forgetting about Steezy, man. He hasn't kind of been in the game too much here lately, but they are still there. So, yeah. Clear resin casting as well. Yeah. Because I need to... And that's a good point. I need to resin cast a new visor for the Jesta, and also a new one for the Spartan as well. I need to get rid of that ugly green visor in there and cast it in like a light blue color or something like that. And then I have to decide on the Jesta. I don't even know what color scheme I'm going with on this thing. So something to contrast. But yes, we can definitely do clear resin casting as well. There's not much difference to it other than the material that you use. So yeah, that's quite easy. That's quite easy. I'll show you the whole thing from simple simple dump molds, which is just like a one-piece mold, to two-part molds, and then maybe even multiple part molds with plugs and stuff like that. It maybe even embedding polycaps or ball joint pegs, things of that nature. I've done all that stuff in the past with really good success. So yeah, absolutely, the whole 9 yards. So we'll take it from beginner resin casting to kind of advanced processes and stuff too. So yeah. So I don't know when that's going to be. Don't hold my feet to the fire on that, but it'll be sometime in the near future. So yeah, fun. Sweet. Okay, so let's reel it back in, right? Let's get back to work here on this visor. So what I want to do here is obviously start to kind of fancy this thing up. Let's get some notches in this guy, some things of that nature, maybe some sub panels, things like that. One thing that I'm going to do is to do kind of like a separation scribe here, just to kind of make it look like the parts are separate. So we're going to kind of follow, let's get a little bit of a little help from our hobby knife first. We're just kind of cut into this corner just a little bit, and that'll help our chisel out a bit. So we're just following the inside contour of this corner here, where these two pieces meet, or where these two parts meet, and we're just kind of making an indent, right? So that looks good there. We're going to do the same thing to the other side, and this is almost just kind of like a pilot hole for drilling holes, right? So this is kind of like a pilot scribe, if you will. I don't know. And what it's going to do is it's going to help our chisel find its way in this contour here. Okay, so let's get to scribing here. Real nice and easy on the first pass. Let the chisel do all the work. And then as you go multiple passes, then you can start to apply, a little bit of pressure. Excuse me. Oh, you know what, Ricardo? I was wondering if you saw the announcement from GSI, from Mr. Hobby, about their paints with their joint venture with MIG. They've got some interesting looking kind of earthy colors that they've joined forces with MIG. And they've got some washes and stuff too. Did you see that earlier? I guess within the past few days, because they look pretty cool. They look like nice colors. So I don't know. And it looks like they got like washes and stuff like that. So it could be an interesting collab. Okay. Starting to get these to the depth that we want. Looking good. Yeah. Bailey. Yeah, the gold series. Yeah, those look really interesting. I gotta admit. Yeah. So, for those of you not keeping up with Mr. Color Paints at the same level like I do, I'm obsessed with them. Obviously, I love Mr. Color Paints. So yeah, ammo of MIG or whatever he's calling himself nowadays. MIG Jimenez, or he's a nutball. But anyway, beyond all that, they've partnered with Mr. Color to make, I guess, a gold series of paints and washes and maybe some other things. I don't know. I just saw the washes and the paint colors. So the paint colors are going to be, your standard, Mr. Color solvent-based acrylics, lacquers, for lack of a better term. And then the washes look like they're going to be kind of your standard MIG washes. But it looks like they've collabed kind of on the color palettes. Earthy kind of colors and things of that nature. And I think there's maybe 15, 20 different paint colors. I don't know about the washes because I just kind of saw the mock-up of the bottle from the marketing material. But yeah, I saw it on the Mr. Color Facebook pages today, the European Mr. Color Facebook page, and the Japanese, the homegrown Facebook page as well. They look really interesting. I gotta admit, the colors look nice. They're not necessarily all looking earth tones. There's a couple shades of blue in there, some nice kind of light matted, desaturated looking colors and stuff, which I just think look great. Right up my alley, quite frankly. And yeah, man, they look really, really cool. So here's to hoping that we can get them here in the States, right? So, but they also have additions to the normal Mr. Color line too. I think they're rolling out a good 15, 20 new colors of that here. I think that what they said in September, maybe. I could be wrong. But man, some of those colors look great too. Again, a lot of matted, kind of desaturated colors. Different earth tones, different primaries, but definitely more on the less saturated side of the color spectrum, which I just totally dig. Totally dig it. So yeah, it's pretty cool news. It's pretty cool news. So hopefully I can get my hands on some. We'll see. All right, so let's now we've got our kind of panel kind of separated. Your separation lines really is kind of what they are here. And we're going to finish these off on the front and the back just to make sure that they terminate in the proper way, because there's nothing worse for me than seeing some sort of custom panel line just not go anywhere, just not end somewhere. It just looks weird, and it just completely breaks any sense of realism or scale or anything. So I like to make sure that my panel lines terminate in you know, a more logical fashion. So if you're going to run them off the edge of a panel, make them run off the edge of the panel. Make sure you scribe the front and back of that piece, right? So like here, since this is running on the top, you want to scribe a line back here and up front here, and that's out of focus. God damn it. Sorry about that, guys. On the piece. Okay, so let me repeat that. Across the top here, if you scribe a panel line here, you want to make that panel line terminate. You want to scribe this front section and then also this back section. It just makes sense. That's how panel lines, or separation of panels, that's how they work in real life. If you look at your car's hood or trunk or doors or something like that, those panels are completely separate, and that's what we're trying to replicate here with scribing. So keep that in mind. That, for me, is pretty important. Okay. So we'll bring this panel line down here in the back. Excuse me. All right, and we've done that one on the front. That looks good. Let's get this one last back separation here. And as you guys can see, I'm kind of breaking the rules a little bit, and I'm pushing with my chisel to start this line. You don't want to do that if you're not comfortable with scribing already, because you can easily break your chisel if you're not 100% sure of the limitations of the plastic and the chisel both. So you got to be super careful if you decide to kind of push your chisel into the plastic. But that worked quite well. Okay. So now we've got terminating panel lines on both sides. That's looking really quite nice. Now we just have to terminate these two on the top here in the back. So again, just going to push just a wee little bit, and this is only like a millimeter thick, so it's not like we're going across like an entire panel pushing these lines here. Okay, and basically what I'm doing is the reason why I'm pushing the scriber is to establish a groove so that I can then go back and do the proper technique of scraping that kind of straight panel line. So looks very good. Looks very good. That's exactly how I want it to. So we're going to do this last one here. Okay. And I'm just shaving off like super thin layers of plastic. I'm not going super deep because you can develop what's called blowout, which the plastic surrounding the panel line that you're trying to establish just completely blows out, and it, you know, basically breaks off and stuff, right? So you definitely want to try and avoid that as best you can. All right, so let's do that, and let's see. Bailey says, I really like ammo weathering enamels. The colors and effects are so nice. I haven't tried those yet. I just used the Tamiya weathering, or the Tamiya panel line accent for all the wash and all that good stuff. Mr. Hoppy also releasing Mr. Cement SP in black. I did see that. That does look interesting, though, Kenneth. Kenneth Sim with that comment there. Great for seeing where you're applying on, especially if you're, you know, using like scratch building and stuff like that. Just like super glue, but black. Yeah, that does look interesting. I might have to get my hands on some of that, too. Spider 2K2 is with us. James, thank you for watching, buddy. He says, nice work on the head, I see. I need to get a Jesta again and do a much better weathering job than the first one I did. I went a little overboard with my original. It happens. That's easily done in weathering. You know, it is what it is. It all takes practice, right? Drummer Dude is with us. He says, what's up, Tim? In chat, what's up, dude? All right, so we've got our all of our panel lines now established, terminated, looking good. Let me just kind of clear out some of the debris in this one here, just to make it nice and neat and clean and tidy and all that good stuff. Oop. So that looks really good. So we've got our lines established. Now we have to notch this sucker. And I think this is where it's gonna kind of start to get a little fun, right? So, Soldier BL, Johnny over there says, aside from chisels, have you tried anything else for panel lines? Etching saws, or other scribers? Actually, yeah. Let's see. This guy right here, this is just kind of like a general purpose scriber. But I got this from HobbyMate when I ordered Scratch Build Revolution. So this is actually just a general purpose scriber. This is what I use when I need to scribe circular shapes or curves or something like that. Saws, I don't really work with too much in terms of panel lining, simply because the photo etch saws are usually 0.2 millimeters. So they're a bit wide for my tastes when it comes to panel lines, actual panel lines. So, but to each their own. If you're working like on a perfect grade or some larger scale, then those would probably work out really well. But on 1/100 scale, I feel they're a bit too wide. The kerf of those saws are just a bit big. So, but good question. Good question. Baraka says, I regularly use Vallejo normal colors, but for metallic, I love Extreme Metal from AK. Very cool. I've not tried any AK, MIG, or any of that stuff at all, honestly. Mainly because I just haven't had a source for it, you know? Bailey says, I really take my time with weathering, looking at the end result of a stage long before moving on to the next. Yeah, that's a good call. I don't really do too much weathering, so it's just kind of like I'm not the best source for that, quite honestly. Barack Saza and AK is enamel, but looks as lacquer, even better in some colors. Okay, AK does have a lacquer line now though, but they're like hardcore earth tones. Tank and armor colors though. There's not hardly any kind of primary colors that are more kind of suited for mechs and stuff like that, or at least Gundams, you know. So, but that's a very good point. James says, I just got home from work about a half hour ago, so I'm just de-stressing and watching a fellow modeler build and detail a Jesta. Cool. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. James works some long-ass hours, too, I'll tell you. Drummer Dude just got done with band practice, noticed the stream, and wanted to pop in and say hi. Awesome, dude. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. That's awesome. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate that, buddy. All right, so let's get some notching done on this bad boy. Let's do a time check. 11:39 in the PM, so we got about 20-30 minutes left. So perfect amount of time to do what we need to do here, right? So let's do a little bit of something here on the front first because that's the idea that I have kind of cooking in my head. So let's get a little hunk of Dymo tape here. And we're going to peel off the backing on this. We're going to get this stuck down, and then we're going to go to town with some notching here real quick. Okay. Grab that tape, peel the back, and we're going to put this right up front. Actually, I'm going to turn this around here. Use this side because we don't need anything wider than that. And then that way, it'll have a much better amount of surface area. Excuse me, guys. All right. So we're going to do a little bit of scribing here right at the front, and we're going to go kind of wide. We're going to go 0.50 on this one. We're going to get a little crazy here with the width of this notch, because I do want it somewhat kind of pronounced and kind of out there, right? All right, so what we're going to do here, we've got our piece of Dymo tape lined up with the existing panel line, and we don't want to go all the way across because that would just look kind of weird. We're just going to do a nice smallish little notch here right up front, probably about, I don't know, half, 3/4 of the width of the panel line itself. I'm just going to start notching one side, and we'll turn it around here in just a moment and start in from the other side here, and just basically establish our two ends. And realistically, you just want to kind of nibble at it a little bit with the chisel, obviously, and just start kind of working the shape, because this is going to be a little bit fragile here at the front edge of this thing. A little bit farther with this on this side here. So we're going to nibble some plastic back on here. And we can start to establish depth on this thing. All right, let's see if we got this centered up here. Get debris out of this notch. Okay, that looks pretty good and centered. All right, so now that we've got that established, now I can peel this off and toss that. Now we can start to work on the depth of this notch here. And we're just going to go kind of back and forth, trading directions on this thing until it's completely smooth and at a depth that we're comfortable with. Going back and forth, that's going to get you the best possible results, because both sides will be even. You know, if you're doing it right, both sides will be even with each other. And then the bottom, hopefully, will be smooth, right? So that's essentially what we're really looking for. And there we go. There's that first notch in there. Let's get a super zoom going, so you can kind of see what exactly I'm talking about, because I know it's hard with the normal zoom right now to see what that looks like. But there's that notch right there. And so that looks really quite nice. Nice and centered, square on that line. It's exactly what we're looking for. Exactly what we need. So let's pull it out of super zoom. Let's get back over here, and then we're going to continue to work this thing till we want it to where we want to get till where we want get some nice results, basically. All right, so I am going to clear the burr off of this scribe line here just by using a simple hobby knife. And we're just kind of taking that burr off of that line just to help clean it up a little bit. We're going to do the same thing from the other side, because we're going to do a little bit of work on these lines here. Okay. All right. So now that we've got that done, now what I think I want to do is do some parallel notches in these corner separation lines, and I think that'll look really quite nice. So we're gonna use 0.30 for this, and let's see, we're going to go not necessarily parallel with it. We're going to go semi-parallel. That may be too thin. Yeah, that's too thin. We're going to use 0.5. All right. Get this good and lined up here. We're not going to make this go all the way. We're simply going to, excuse me, just do some kind of weight this on the front edge of this visor piece here. So it's not necessarily centered front and back on this particular piece. This is more weighted to the front, like I said, and I think that's gonna kind of give it some little bit of realism, because not everything is centered. Even kind of mechanical wise, not everything is centered. And there's even asymmetric, you know, kind of mechanical detail and things too that we can always throw into this thing. Okay. That looks really nice. I really dig that. Yeah. Yes, sir. That looks good. Let's see if we can get it focused here. So let's see. So you can kind of see the hint of a notch there. I'd have to get it really into super zoom for you to really, really see. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other side here, but let's first take measurements so we can properly duplicate this on the other side, because if you don't, man, it's just not going to look all that great. So 1.5 millimeters from the front. This thing is exactly 2 millimeters long, so should be pretty easy to duplicate this here. So that's probably about 1.5 mil there. Just a little bit farther in. Okay. That's pretty good. Let's get it started from the other direction here. nice so far. Again, let the chisel do the work. Why are you going to stress yourself? You've worked a hard day. Let the tool do the work. That's what I say. You've probably slaved 8 hours at the office or at a job site or something like that. Why would you want to do more work? Let the tool do the job. Just makes sense, right? God, I look stupid looking up at this, looking up the camera with these damn goggles on. That's okay, guys. That's okay. I am here to embarrass myself for you. We're having a good time. All right. So this one is almost done as well. Looking pretty good. Let's see. Let's see if we're even. It looks pretty damn close to even. Let's put it that way. So let's show you in super zoom. And let's see. Let's get our box, get 5x going. Boom, there she is. So there are our two side notches here and here on the side of this visor. So looks pretty good. I really like how this kind of looks so far. Bailey says, that's very clever. That I might have to try. Cool. Really enhances the illusion of part separation. Oh, yeah. Because what's going to happen is when you go to panel wash this, obviously that's going to take, take the wash fluid, and it's just going to enhance the separation of it. It's going to give it kind of like a pseudo shadow almost, right? So, yeah. Separate the parts, man. Separate the parts. I think it looks really quite nice. Let's see. Kenneth Sim, it's really hard to describe those size of a notch to get perfect shape. I always overscribe and went deep. Bailey says, yeah, 0.5 it can be. It can wander if you're not super careful. Yeah. The wider that you get with chisels, the harder it is to control the scribing motion, right? So going from, say, a 0.15, which is super easy to control because it's almost like a hobby blade. So going from that to a 0.5, you do have to take your time with a 0.5. Going above that, you have to even take a lot more time. And trying to scribe with anything 2 millimeters and above, I wouldn't even recommend it at this point. Because what you're going to find is that you're going to have to make more and more passes for that potential scribe, to be smooth. So where it might take 5 or 6 passes with a 0.15, it could take 50, 100 passes with a 3 millimeter, right? So, you got to keep those things in mind. That's why I say the wider chisels are more for shaping and sculpting the plastic rather than truly scribing or notching the plastic. It can be done, but man, at that point, you're just glutton for punishment, quite frankly. So, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Great point, great question. So, Sorvan over on Twitch says, you're not the only one wearing goggles right now. I am sharing in your embarrassment. No, dude, it's just like when I look up and my eyes are big, bulbous in these things. It just looks dumb. But hey, whatever. Soldier BL, Mr. Johnny over there. It's not hard work if you're doing what you love, and since we do this as a hobby, pure relaxations. Absolutely right. I was just making a joke is all. Elm Nielsen says, looks good, Tim. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. That's awesome. Gamerbud, wow, just got done snapping together the torso and waist of my SC Zaku F2000, and this thing is huge. He is going to be a really big boy. Yeah, those suckers are big. Those are big. Big boys. Gamerbud says, that is looking real good, Tim. Thank you, man. A. Schultz Burkana is with us. What's up, B? Jalen, something I've been doing is to use a hobby knife at a 45-degree angle. It makes it look like the part is fully separated. Yeah, and that, and that's kind of what I did to kind of take the burr off of this line, right? Let's get it actually in frame there, but that's kind of what I did. I kind of used my hobby knife kind of in this direction and just kind of took the burr, the raised bit of plastic off of that panel line, and that's got excuse me. It's also it's also kind of what I whoa, that's out of focus. Let's get out of super zoom. That's also what I did here on the Jesta border scribes around the front armored vents and everything, right? So I actually kind of beveled this inward like this, right? I kind of did this kind of action there. So it does give a bit more separation, but that's going to be beveled and it's going to look, I think, quite nice once it's painted up and everything. So yeah, that's kind of what I do as well. Excuse me. Let's see. Bailey says there's more material to remove with each pass. Yeah, I mean, that's with larger chisels. Yeah, that's absolutely true. What you also will see is that the pressure that you're applying varies, and obviously also the density of plastic varies as well. So what you're going to experience is more waves in that scribe with wider knot or with wider chisels as well. You just kind of have to do even more passes at that point to try and get it smooth without taking off too much more material once you've got the depth established. So it is much harder to scribe wider lines than it is thinner ones. So once you go over 1 millimeter, I mean, it's open season at that point. You're going to be doing it for a while. Let's put it that way. So, good call there. Good call there. Burkana says, beer goggles. Does that mean you have beer goggles on, or does it look like I have beer goggles on? I don't know. Getting ready for a model contest and con and business trip. Sorry I'm late, but I'm here now. Dude, don't be sorry. The fact that you're here is what's important. So, welcome to the show. All right, so let's do time check 11:58. Cool. So we still have a little bit more work I want to do on this. So let's start to do just some little notches on this middle panel here, because we need to do just a little bit of work on this, I think. This already looks really nice, really classy so far, especially with this nice little kind of notch here on the front of this panel, and then obviously these separation scribes and some of the notches on either side I think would look really, really nice too. But this could look better with some internal kind of little notches and stuff. So what we're going to do is I like to come off 2 millimeter from kind of a corner or a terminating edge to start where I put, little notches and things. We're using 0.30 on these. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back about 2 millimeters And let's see, I think that's about it right there. And we're going to start to pull out just some itty bitty notches here. Just, simulating latches that holds this particular armor panel down. And, who knows what's under this panel, right? Since this is a visor, and it theoretically could come down to aid in maybe targeting or surveillance or something like that. Maybe there's some optics under this. Maybe there's some targeting systems. I don't know. But what I do know is maintenance personnel will probably have to get in there to work and maintain on whatever systems are under this particular panel. So we need to make it easy for them to get into those systems. All right, looks good. We're going to do the same thing here on the other side. We're just going to kind of eyeball that distance there. We're just going to do the same thing on this side. Just going to pull this little notch here. Okay, and that actually is a little longer than the other one that we made here, so we're going to have to actually nibble some more plastic off of this notch to match up the length. Because obviously we're not going to be able to put that plastic back on there, so we're going to have to take some extra off of this side just to make them look nice and symmetrical. And let's see what that looks like. Not bad, not bad. Let's clear out the debris that we've made now. In that panel line. Let's continue getting the depth on this thing because this could be a little bit deeper and it looks like it could be a little bit longer compared to the other one here too. So we're going to nibble off a little bit more plastic on the front edge of this notch. Okay. Let's see what that looks like. Now we're talking. That looks really much better. Yep. Okay, cool. So what we want to do is we want to come down a little bit more and do the same thing down near the bottom, but with this little notch here on the front tip of this kind of box panel. We don't want to come down too much because that is a latch that's kind of simulating a latch there as well. So I'm going to go maybe 3 or 4 millimeters off the front edge, a little bit farther than my normal 2 millimeter. I'm going to pull that little notch there. Okay. We're going to do the same thing to the other side here. We're just going to eyeball that up to where it's nice and even. Right about there, looks good. So now that these are parallel with one another, we'll pull this other notch here. Okay. All right. Woo. This thing is warm. Okay. Let's see. Let's get caught up with the chat, shall we? Who's on? All right. Barack says, my wife arrived. Say hello to her, that she can give more time to finish this show. Hello, Iris. Thank you for watching. Welcome to the show. It's good having you. Thank you for letting Barack enjoy his hobby. It was very nice of you bringing him wine and fancy treats. It was amazing. Very cool. Very cool. Let's see. Jay Lynch. I found this person on Pinterest. He is doing a custom of a Gundam wound wart. Really nice scribing technique on Instagram. The name is Nobu Papa 9. Yeah, I actually follow him. Yeah. He's very talented. Very talented. Good call, Jay Lynch. Nobu _Papa .9 is the gentleman's Instagram account. Very talented, very talented. I believe he's Japanese. I'm not 100% sure. So let's see. Kenneth Sim, are you going to host a Q&A stream soon? Yeah, you know, I've kind of given that a little bit more thought. I need to kind of formulate a bit more of the format and things like that. But yeah, definitely I will. Let's see. Bailey says, Buenos noches, Iris. Bailey says, at Jay Lynch, I follow Nobu Papa 9 on Instagram. He goes hard on some good custom work. Yeah, he does, man. Yeah, he does. Jay Lynch says, yes, I recently started to follow him. I went to Twitter to get other builders to follow. Yeah, Twitter is crazy for Japanese builders, too. Some nutty things on there. Barack says, she's watching and enjoying the show. Awesome. That's so cool to hear, man. You know, that's just awesome. You know, having a husband and wife kind of duo in kind of modeling, enjoying and everything. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you guys are great. Thank you for watching. I really, really do appreciate that. That makes me feel really good. You know, awesome. That's so cool. So cool. All right. So let's get some cleanup on this bad boy, because I think this is looking pretty nice. Let's see, Tato Nagroho? I'm probably butchering that name, but thank you so much for the subscribe. That's very awesome of you. I appreciate that. Welcome to the family. Thank you for watching. If you haven't watched before, I am very bad at pronouncing names and other words. So I apologize if I butchered your name, but thank you for watching. That's awesome. All right. So let's get back to this. Let's clear out these this debris that we've established now from the notches and the panel lines. So we're just going to clean those out. Okay. Looks pretty good there. Not too bad, not too bad. And I think we need to even up these notches just a little bit in length. So we're just going to nibble off a little bit more plastic right there. And now, I think we've got an even matching length. Maybe not. Maybe we need to nibble a little bit more there. Okay. Looks, drop it. So that looks pretty nice. I like the look of this thing so far. And I think that's really kind of where I'm going to end that, because I don't want to do too much. You know, you do too much to one piece, especially this small and this prominent on the head, and the details just get lost. And it just kind of looks like a mishmash, and it just looks bad, right? So if you kind of go with the mantra of less is more, that's probably going to look really good then. So let's sand this down, and that way it'll bring out the lines a little bit better, because the dust from sanding will go in the lines and help illuminate the lines so that you guys can see them a little bit better. Okay. So far, so good. And this is not necessarily a piece, this top part is not a piece with hard edges. So I can easily just kind of round over these edges and not really, you know, have a care in the world, because this is much more rounded than angular, this particular part. All right, so let's get that centered up in the little super zoom area. Let's get some super zoom action going, shall we? And then you can see kind of the end result of this bad boy. Shablam! That looks pretty good, if I do say so myself, right? So you've got that nice tapered box that we did early in the stream. You've got this kind of nice little half mil little notch right down here, right there at the bottom, just kind of setting off the whole tone. And then as you move up, you've got, you know, these nice little notches parallel, you know, at the same levels with one another. You've got the separation scribes here on the side, and you've got those nice little kind of front weighted notches here in the separations as well, to simulate some nice heavy latches or something like that. I don't know. So one last thing to do is throw this on the head and see how it kind of enhances the look. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's pretty nice. I dig it. Yeah, that ain't bad. And then here you can see a little bit of the scribing that I did the other night on this thing. And you can see the little notch that I cut out right there at the bottom. And then also too, you can kind of see that that Kotobukiya part right here in action. Looks natural, right? Once that's primered and painted, I mean, you'll never be able to tell the difference. And there's that little little soul patch, as Bailey said earlier. And man, I think that just looks good, you know, because before this just was a 1 millimeter molded in notch, right? It just, it was missing something. So I think that just kind of sets it off, you know, having that little chin action going there. So I dig it. Oh, I forgot this piece here. Got to get the antenna on. There we go. Got to get that piece on. I don't even think that's on all the way. So I think the next thing that we might want to do is work on this front edge here, because I don't know, and it's not going to focus on it. Okay, so see, there you go. So what's happening here in the molding process? It's deeper. It's a deeper notch here on this side, and then it just trails off, and there's just no notch on this particular side whatsoever. So what I might do is just kind of shave that off, maybe add a Kodo part on there, maybe just not add anything at all, maybe just have it be completely bare, maybe something else, don't know. But yeah, man, really good. You can see the fill-ins here with the super glue and all that, and man, yeah, I dig it. I dig this. I dig the way it looks right now. I'm real happy with it. So let's get out of super zoom, and you can kind of see, once we put this on, the rest of the body, kind of the look that we get. Man, how badass is that? That looks killer. So totally dig that right there. Yeah. See, and it's just the little details. It's nothing. This is nothing crazy, guys, right? These are simple details. Some scribing, you know, a little plastic embellishment here and there, but it's just in how you put them all together that creates the finished product. You know, I haven't done anything crazy on this build, and that was kind of the guiding principle, if you will, for this particular project, was not to do anything crazy. I wanted to display that you could get a nasty, just brutal, badass looking model with very simple techniques that you can do, right? And I just kind of wanted to show you that you guys can do this. You absolutely can do this. Just a little practice, you know, a little hard work, man, a little dedication. You can do this. It's not that hard. It really is not. The hardest part is just kind of coming up with the ideas and putting them all together. That's all it is to it. It's really it is. So, let's catch up with the chat. Let's get back into one camera. There we go. And let's finish this one out. Let's finish it out strong, shall we? All right. So let's catch up with nothing going over there on Facebook. They're usually quiet folks, right? Let's check up in here with the chat. Let's see. Let's see. Barack Isaza says, thank you, bro. By the way, you are getting popular in Latin America. Must learn some Spanish in the future. It's weird. That's weird to hear, you know. You're getting popular in Latin America, man. That's super cool, though, right? That's like hearing like I'm big in China or something, you know. It's just like, I don't know. I'm just some random dude from the States that just builds toy robot models, you know. Who wants to watch me? But seeing that, that's just awesome, man. You guys from Latin America, Central America, South America, all that down there, man, it's just so fucking cool. And like I said, man, you guys are super dedicated. You know, probably much more dedicated than most other modelers, simply because of your resiliency to acquire you know, the kits and materials and things like that, because I know it's not hard, or it's not easy to get that stuff in country, you know, at hobby shops and stuff like that. I doubt that it's a common thing down there. So that point alone, man, super, super respect for that. That's just, you guys are hardcore. Hardcore. I would be fearful of you guys down there in Central and South America if you did have the same amount of resources that you know, we have here in the States, or you know, in Asian countries, Australia, places like that. You guys would be killing it then. That would be amazing, though. That would be amazing to see. Bailey, sweet soul, brother. Yes, sir. Man, that's my boy, man. That's little soul patch. Little soul patch. Man. Reminds me of that Eddie Griffin movie. So what is it? Undercover Brother. Such a great movie. So fun. So damn funny. It's a classic. Soravon says, wow, this new Loctite I got set super fast. I'm lucky I got a piece on straight the first time. Nice. Yeah, Loctite, man, if it's not like the slow curing, like the gel, yeah, it sets super quick, dude. Super quick. Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. A Schultz Berkana says, heavy arms haven't arrived yet, but ended up ordering like 15 of them. Holy shit. I have a Sandrock I'm working on. I guess that's what, the Supernova heavy arms? That thing looks badass, I gotta say. The elongated proportions, the added details, the feet especially, I really, really like on that heavy arms. So that is, yeah, that is really, really cool. Let's see. 45 ship, that's a good price. That is a good price. Guys, check out Berkana's Facebook page. It's a Gundam Sales. Very reasonable pricing. Especially, you know, the shipped pricing is very reasonable. So check him out. He's a good dude, man. Very reliable, trustworthy, whole 9 yards. I can vouch for him because I've dealt with him several times. He's got me a what? What's that one? The Stormbringer. Gundam Stormbringer. He's got that ordered up for me. That's a Pete Bandai, one of those Naoki deals, right? Alex the Doof says, good morning. He's over there in Korea. Alex, welcome, buddy. We're about to finish up, so you're a little late, but that's okay. Just the fact that you're checking in is good enough for me, man. Bailey says, yeah, thinking of the lines to Scriber Claw detail to add probably takes the most time. Dude, it absolutely does. And then when you're not happy with it, you got to fix it and blah, 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 and it's, yeah, that's the toughest part. It really, really is. Let's see. Just pop. Nice. Kenneth Sim, Tim, know that there's a new PG releasing soon. Yes, I have seen said rumors for something being released in December. I'll be honest with you, I do not know what it is. Usually I'm able to hear things ahead of time, but I'll be honest with you, this one caught me off guard. I do not know what it is. I know, yeah, Berkana, the Seven Sword is kind of the rumor at present. I don't know. I think someone started that without much insight. So I would currently take that with a grain of salt, and not put too much value in it until we see something official. You know, and it, like I said, it caught me off guard, and I usually hear things simply because I do have connections being in this hobby for almost 20 years. You know, you do hear things, but I did not hear a single thing about this one until you saw the pre-order posts on like Hobby Link Japan and Gundam Kids Collection and stuff like that. So yeah, this one caught me off guard. This one did. Let's see. Burkana Tier, Tyr, on Facebook. Yeah, message him, dude. Yeah. Get your stuff from him. He's a good dude. He's definitely a good dude. Everything is fixable, luckily. Yes, it is. Thankfully. Bailey says, real grade Sazabi, then PG new. That would be interesting. But only if it has more kind of the proportions of the new Verka. Because that original new was garbage. Bad proportions. The die-cast thing was just like poop. A. Schultz says, I mean, it would be Bandai. They have most of the mold and always been doing XE as a logical choice. Sure, it absolutely is. But again, we are talking Bandai. Sometimes they come out of left field with stuff, you know, so it's hard to say, right? Excuse me. Perfect grade new would be awesome. Perfect grade Sazabi. Yeah, I think we're probably a little far off from a perfect grade Sazabi anytime soon. You got an amazing Sazabi Verka. You've just got the real grade that came out. I doubt very seriously that there would be any sort of enhanced interest for a perfect grade Sazabi right now. Because what you're going to find is customer fatigue for that particular model. And I think Bandai is acutely aware of that. So I doubt very seriously that there will be a perfect grade Sazabi anytime soon. Just my feeling, right? Sorvan over there on Twitch says they'll probably reveal the perfect grade at the hobby show next month, except they'll end up announcing it online like a week ahead. Yeah, right? They have a bad time of doing that. Or it slips out. People hear things, the whole 9 yards. So, Alex the Doof says, yeah, I was up till 4 a.m. editing my Japan footage last night. Nice. Yeah, guys, Alex over there, Alex the Doof Studios, love that name, by the way, is putting together some New Japan shopping footage for his YouTube channel. So if you do not follow Alex, I would definitely go ahead and hit the little subscribe button on his channel. Definitely worth it. And yeah, let's see. Kenneth Sim, hope Bandai will go back old roots for a perfect grade Zaku 2 version 2.0. Yeah, I don't see them ever doing a perfect grade 2.0 of anything. Honestly, just because the research and development that goes into a perfect grade is so much higher than other models, simply because of the mechanics and all of that goes into it. There's such a huge investment, and then you have to wonder about how sales are going to be. It's a whole big business gamble. So I personally don't ever see a 2.0 perfect grade ever happening. I could be wrong, but that's just kind of my gut feeling. So, Ace Schultz, we can dream. Yeah, you can always dream. Let's see. Jason PS3 is over here on YouTube watching with us. Thank you for watching, Jason. Appreciate that. He says, I hope for a perfect grade Sinanju. See, and that actually is, in my opinion, probably a more likely candidate if it is a new a new model for Perfect Grade. Just because the Sinanju is super cool. They've got the NT anime coming out, so there is a little bit of a tie-in there. Sinanju is a popular design, so you never know. You never know. I will be honest. It probably is more likely that it's a 7 sword 00, but again, guys, this is Bandai. They could do whatever the hell they want, you know? Really hard to say. Really hard to say. So, let's see. Alex Dedoof, they also don't move as many perfect grade kits as compared to high grades and master grades. Very good point. Yeah. Jay Lynch, see you next time. Tim, great stream as usual. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Thank you for watching. You're always a regular with us, Jay. So come on back Friday. Let's see. A. Schultz says, Sinanju is my favorite mech. Bailey says, it's either new 7 swords. This is the anniversary for both CCA and 00. Yeah, there was a big CCA push this year, obviously with the coming Yak Doga RE coming out, and the Master Grade Jagan, the real grade listen to me, Sazabi. Very big push this year, obviously, yeah, for the Shark's counterattack anniversary. So, yeah, you never know. You never know. Let's see. Sinanju is, Gamerbud says, Sinanju is so pretty, I got my real grade sitting in my drawer asking to be built. Nice. A. Schultz, well, the RG is amazing, but you will need some CA glue for a few pieces. So, very cool. Very cool. All right. Rock and roll. 12:32. 2.5 hours tonight. Pretty good stream. Excuse me. Ryan Remington says, I'd like to see a real grade new. Good point. I think that's probably closer to happening rather than most of these things at this point. Because, I mean, you do have the real grade Sazabi. The real grade new is pretty popular. Why not at this point, you know? It seems to make the most sense. So, Ryan, I totally agree with you, man. I think that's a more plausible idea than most of the other types of things. So, makes sense. And thank you for watching, Ryan. Appreciate that, buddy. Gamerbud, yeah, heard about that, and I got some ready. Oh, the CA glue for the Sazabi. A. Schultz, that would be awesome. I love real grades. They are nice to straight build because sometimes need to break up the custom work. What you're going to build while letting putty or paint dry. True. True. Alex Dedoof, what's your backlog looking like? If it's not too much trouble, just interested to see what kind of kits suit your taste. Oh, mine? My backlog is spread across like 3 different areas. You've got this here for like the bigger stuff. I've got obviously the 2 Verkas, the Rick Dom down here, and then some just kind of kit bash fodder. That's actually the 1/60th no grade strike with all of the weapon systems. Let's see what else I got here. I've got the 1/35th. That's the hover tank there. The Master Grade Cublé. If my arm will stretch around here, these 2 are the GN arms. Those are just kit bash fodder. I'm never going to build those straight. Used some parts on those on the Ozymandias, obviously. But these are great kits for kit bash. These are wonderful parts in there to take and use on other projects. What else I got over there? I got the 135th Smavote tank. I got that over there, and then the rest is kind of junk. I do have a Mechanicore Zai up. You can see just a little hair of it right here, that little brown package there. I have the Mechanicore Xi right there. But the rest of the stuff up there is kind of junk. I got a 1/48 G system AUTAN in the box right over here, wanting to be built. Let's see what else. I got some Zeta Pluses over there. I got Gundam Origin Master Grade, the Rebawu P Bandai I got over here. Hakushiki 2.0, some Zaku's. I got the Deep Striker. Kenneth, I do have the Deep Striker. Some old school kits. Got a couple, actually 3 Rezels, 2 Type Cs, 1 Commander Unit, Marasai, Johnny Ridden Zaku 2 version 2.0, Gyaradoga. I got a Titans Mark II 2.0 and Sharzaku 2.0. What else do I have over here? I've got GM Type C Space version, GM Custom, some older stuff. Yeah, that's basically what I got. I don't have a lot, to be honest with you. It's probably a lot less than, what it sounds. But, most of this stuff in here is more than likely Kid Bash fodder for other projects and stuff. So, yeah. And pretty much all of them are master grades. So, yeah, Burkhan is right. All master grades. So, A. Schultz, the Rebrow is awesome. Again, sorry about it. No, dude, don't worry about it. It's all good. Alex DeDoof, thanks for sharing. You're welcome, man. Bailey says percentage built and then unpainted. Yeah, all of those are still in the box. So, 100% unpainted. Perkana says, 2.0s are awesome. Speaking of which, I got to send you some pics of my Rambaral just in primer version of the Zaku 2.0 mine layer. Cool. Kenneth Sim, Rebawu, heard it one-time release. No news it's going reproduction. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was a P Bandai. The RE version. Well, no, actually, the high grade version was a P Bandai too. So, yeah, I mean, they're both P Bandais, and some P Bandais just don't ever get reproduced. It's one of those things, I guess, right? Gamer Bud, I got along with my Sinanju. I got my real grade Unicorn and Banshee. I'm going to binge Gundam Unicorn as I build them. Got to finish watching Zeta Gundam through. Getting close, though, episode 39. Yeah, dude, you got only a handful of episodes left. Jason PS3. Reason I said Sinanju is because they already have it as a high grade, real grade, and master grade, and it's very popular. Absolutely. Perfect grade mobile suit already have real grade versions. Yeah, I agree with you. Those are all very compelling reasons. So, yeah, I mean, it absolutely does make sense. It makes sense altogether. Alex the Doof, yeah, I'm like you, man. Banana fingers, haha, no 144 for me. Banana fingers. I actually have little spindly, thin piano playing fingers, but I still don't like 144, so what are you going to do? Gamer Bud, well, and gotta watch Shark's Counterattack. Yeah, that's a good one. I love Shark's Counterattack. A. Schultz, cough, wingsuits, cough. A. Schultz, also Zeta is awesome, mechs, but the story and Amuro still needs to be slapped. Yeah, right. Baraka Saza says, for a good psychic of a scale modeler, it's say that the amount of builded kits is at most is the 1/3 of your total kits. Yeah, mine's probably a lot less than that. Mine's probably like 1/16 of my backlog. And my backlog used to actually be much bigger than this, guys. I did a massive sell-off many years ago, and man, so many kits. I was in that stage that all modelers get into where they hoard kits. But I grew out of that and invested in tools. So that's kind of where my money goes. Most of the kits that I have right now, honestly, were probably bought on some crazy deal. Like these two Sinanjus. I got these on a crazy deal on Amazon. I think I've told you guys about that. But most of these other ones were on probably clearance or something like that. I got a bunch of them from Hobby Wave, an American site that went out of business about a year or two ago. Bunch of models from there because they were so discounted. It was stupid not to get them, right? So yeah, most of these kits I've either had for 15 plus years, or I got for a very, very good price, and I just kind of couldn't pass them up at that point. So sue me. Timmy Wynn over there, Roomblade265 on Twitch says, after building lots of larger scales, it's really hard to go back to 144. It seems so small. Yeah, it does. And you know, in competition building and like in GBWCs and stuff like that, the 144s just don't get the love. You know, it's unfortunate. It's not fair. You know, all scales should get the same amount of attention, the same amount of love, the same amount of respect. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen, unfortunately. Barack Asaza, so if you have 30 built kits, you must have at least 70 waiting to be built. No, I'm probably, rough estimate, 40, maybe 50 kits. Rough estimate. I've got a bunch of little spindly kits up here, like, you know, some SDs and bear guys and stuff like that for kind of palette cleansers that I do every year, like the, you know, at the end of the year kind of builds where I mash bear guys and SDs together. But yeah, you know, probably 40 or 50 kits at most. And that, I think that might be kind of liberal with that number. It might be even less than that. So yeah, I don't buy kits unless they're at a super good deal. Ryan Remington, I just got a Sinanju Stein Verkat. Nice, good kit. And have no ideas what to do with it yet. Dude, just Google up custom Sinanju Steins. That's all you got to do. And look up the side 3 conversion, or the side 3 dress up kit for the Sinanju Stein. Just beautiful work, beautiful detail work, beautiful panel lines, the whole 9 yards, and you will get mad ideas from it. So, Kenneth Sim, same, buying tools more than getting newer kits nowadays. Yeah, dude, like, mind you, I've got a good arsenal of tools and stuff, but I'm always kind of on the lookout for, you know, new tools, especially if, you know, they make a job easier. So honestly, I spend most of my money like on supplies like plastic and stuff. So where most of my money goes. Let's see what else. Bailey says, I have some core master grades I've always wanted to get, not even new ones, but most of my purchases are tools. Yeah, same as you guys. Burkana says, the nice part about long-term builds is your actual backlog is only a couple because it takes you so long, it takes you a long time, stretches your budget farther, and invests in more tools and supplies. Yeah, absolutely. Side 3 resins are awesome references, Burkana also says. GamerBud says, I saw someone building a Sinanju Stein and swapping parts with the original Sinanju, so it was red and white. Looked pretty cool. Yeah, you can absolutely do that if you wanted to. The Stein actually comes, some of the runners have extra parts that are for the normal Sinanju as well. So, very cool. All right, boys. Let's see. It is 12:45 now. We tacked on another 15 minutes of conversation onto that. So thank you for that. Appreciate that. That's always fun for me. It really is. So, all right, but this is where this is where I leave you for this evening. So, so guys, real quick, let's get some final points of business going here. Go hit up the GoFundMe/GumpleTalk. GoFundMe.com/GumpleTalk. You can win this model, this very one. Everybody around the world is eligible to enter, except for maybe Singapore. You guys have some weird kind of limitations on donations and things like that. But if you really do want to donate and you live in Singapore, just contact one of us at GumpleTalk or the GumpleTalk Facebook page directly, and we could definitely help you out. But one lucky donor will win that very model. No minimum, no maximum either. But donate if you can. If you can't, we understand that. Give us a share. That's all we would ask. Help us spread the word for this amazing cause. Also, too, pick up your awesome kick-ass. I love that script and everything, that font and everything. We got the Mecha shirts. We've got this same style that says Gundam and another one that says Xeon. So no matter which side you prefer, represent. And this is just a classic style shirt, man. Just a black and white, black on white, or black with white print and everything, man. Super, super classic. Hats to match as well. So go pick those up. Very good stuff. ChowtoMecha.com. Hit up the store. You can find all your Gundam needs, swag needs in there. And also, too, if you saw any tools or materials or the book that we showed earlier, The Art of Overwatch, this big, massive, look how wide this thing is. Like as wide as my head on screen. But if you want this book, pick it up on Amazon. There's a link down below on YouTube and on Facebook, later on Twitch. Hit up the Amazon link. You're going to find most of the tools that I use, the books that give me inspiration and you inspiration, and it helps the channel. Their affiliate links and stuff like that. So go and buy. So with that being said, I'm going to be back here on Friday. Hope you guys will join me, because it will be a lot of fun. Always good conversations. Everybody's tuning in tonight. All you cool ass people from Central and South America. Barack, your wonderful wife Iris, who is amazing and brings you wine and fancy snacks. That's awesome. And you guys build together and watch the show. Love you guys. You're amazing. And thank you for everybody else watching. So until next time. Have fun, be safe, and build cool shit. Can't talk tonight. So tired. Anyway, have fun, guys. We'll see you later.